Shalom. This is the brother Atazawamia from the GMS South Carolina camp. I want to first give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the Akim and the truth. Alright, this lesson is, was inspired by, watching the video that the elders put up about, lesson they had on GMS info.2 called mixed seeds ? No such thing ! Because which Israel should know, you got this clown, well, you got several clowns out there, alright, but the main one pushing that heresy, that false doctrine, is General Yohanan, alright, of ISUPK. Alright, and you have other camps that, though they don't teach that, but yet they're praising General Yohanan and getting on GMS for teaching according to the scriptures that your nationality, alright, and your sex, meaning what, either you a male or female, is generated or determined by your father, not your mother. Alright, because the man carries both the X and Y chromosome. Alright, so he's the one that generates the nations, or where you get your nationality from, alright, or what group of people you come from. It's all determined through the lineage of your fathers. Now, one of their arguments, which has been proven false, but this lesson I was going to pull out and go through one example of one of our righteous forefathers, alright, and who was a judge in Israel, whose name was Jephthah, alright, and just go through the story when he fought against the Ammonites. I'm not going to go through the whole story, because it's pretty long, but and we'll touch on other things in here, but it's to prove a few points using the scriptures, and may you brothers be edified in this lesson. So let's get started. Alright, I'm gonna start in Sirach, alright, chapter 44. This is out of the Apocrypha. Alright, it says, "Let us now praise famous men, and our fathers that begot us." Alright, and that's one of that's one of the reasons why we the accounts of our forefathers, alright, like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, and the other patriarchs, the fathers of the tribes, Moses, Aaron, Joshua, the judges, which I'm going to pull out one of the judges. His name was Jephthah, which we're going to read about. Joshua, Caleb, King David, alright, Jonathan, son of Saul, Samuel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, alright, Yahushua, the apostles, alright, the disciples. All these accounts were written, alright, for us in these days for our learning and to praise these men, alright, and our fathers that begot us, because all these men that I made mention of were Israelites, or are Israelites, alright, and these were men that the Lord had set up and chose to be great men of the Lord. And because it's written in the scriptures, alright, it's worthy mention of praising them, because their actions deserve those things. So it says, "Let us now praise famous men, and our fathers that begot us. The Lord have wrought great glory by them, alright, and through his great power from the beginning, alright, such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned of their power, giving counsel by their understanding, and declaring prophecy, Leaders of the people by their counsels and by their knowledge of learning meet for the people. Wise and eloquent are their instructions, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing. Rich men furnished with ability, living peaceably in their habitations. All these were honored in their generations. Alright, so the man we about to read about, Jephthah, who was one of the judges during the time of the period of the judges, which, it said in the scriptures that the time of the judges was like 450 years. Let me see if I can find that scripture real quick. Justify that saying. Oh, I'm just gonna let whoever's watching, this is gonna be a real in-depth, lesson. So, just prepare yourself because it's gonna be kind of extensive. And it's wherever the spirit leads. Hopefully it won't be that long, but it's gonna be somewhat long. There we go. Let me get that real quick. Pull up one of these. Alright. Acts chapter 13, verse 20. Acts chapter 13, verse 20. And after that he gave unto them judges about the space of 450 years, until Samuel the prophet. Alright. So, he was one of the judges that ruled over Israel, alright, and delivered Israel from the oppression of the heathen, alright, during the span of when the judges came on the scene after the time of Joshua and Caleb, alright, which lasted for 450 years until the time of Samuel the prophet. That's when Israel had asked for them to have a king over them. Alright, so back to this. Sirach chapter 44, verse 7. It says, all these were honored in their generations, and were the glory of their times. There be of them that have left a name behind them, that their praise might be reported. Alright? And some there be which have no memorial, which are perished, as though they have never been, and are become as though they have never been born, and their children are after them. But these were merciful men, whose righteousness have not been forgotten. With their seed shall continue remaining a good inheritance, and their children are without the covenant. Are within the covenant. Their seed standeth fast, and their children for their sakes. Their seed shall remain forever, and their glory shall not be blotted out. Their bodies are buried in peace, but their names live forevermore. Alright? The people will tell of their wisdom, and the congregation will show forth their praise. Alright? Romans chapter 15, verse 4, it says, for whatsoever thing were written aforetime were written for our learning. That's right. So, for all that's a cut on you people that be in the churches and stuff, or you so-called Christians that try to say, oh, the Old Testament is done away, or it's already been fulfilled, which is not true. Alright? You still got prophecies that's taking place at this time, and that's still to come that's made mention in the law, which is the first 5 books